Hey everybody, welcome to Sweetcast. I want to talk about, I think, a really important point. This is important, okay? It's been something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and it all stems out of social media, and I understand that, social media can be terrible. First, let me show you, though, before I forget, Downcast Volume 2 is coming to Indiegogo pretty soon, right? I'm looking at early February to launch it, but everybody and their mother's launching in February, so I'm tempted to maybe launch like a week sooner and it'd be the end of January. I don't know. Let me know what you think. But if you got Downcast 1 or you're still waiting for it and you've just heard great things about it, you're going to want to sign up for the mailing list so you can get a discount and access to secret perks that nobody else gets. It's the best mailing list to be on ever because I do not spam. All right, let's get into this video. Now I'm looking at Marc Lombardi here. Marc Lombardi is a professional that works in comics, okay? He posted like this because this is how normal people act on Twitter, totally normal, and that is to say the same statement in all caps 6 times in a row just to get your point across or something. So he says, in all caps, fans do not own what others have created, said 6 times. I'm not going to go over all that. That's insane. All right, now the thing with Marc Lombardi is he will allow some people to respond to him, but not others, not most people to respond. Let's drill into his argument a little bit deeper here. Marc Lombardi says, creators owe it to their fans to create an enjoyable product. What they do not owe their fans is indentured servitude. The fans determine what happens. They can and should only react to what the creator creates, good or bad. Now, when I read that, I think, Mark, that is a straw man argument. Nobody is calling for indentured servitude of a comic book creator. They're just asking for good stories. They're asking for you not to ram your politics into the characters and stories that they have enjoyed for generations. Characters that you don't actually own yourself. They're owned by big corporations that have catered to fans in the past, and now for some reason they're catering to you rather than their fans. Now you'll notice the only way that I can see this tweet from Marc Lombardi is because I jump into my alternate account. I've got one alternate account and it's literally called Clint Stoker. But it has my name. In fact, the Sweetcast account is my alternate account to this one. But he has my main account blocked. Why is that? Because I discuss some of these things. Because I would react to this. I would say something, and I think most of the time I try to be reasonable and level-headed and have discussions, but it turns out that Twitter's just not a great place for that conversation to happen. But I can't. This is the way that it's worked for over a year, at least, that I've seen things. And that is that if you are an advocate for change in comics, if you want to be able to hold creators accountable, creators that don't think that you have any right and that you own nothing, it doesn't matter how much money you spend on those characters, none of that matters because they're the creator and you're the consumer. Now, if you want to stand up to that or at least have an opinion on it, you are not allowed to express that to Marc Lombardi. He has you blocked. Now, the strangest thing has seemed to happen over the past few months, and that is I look at Marc Lombardi's total straw man argument here, and I think, man, are there actually people that believe this? That they believe that because they're a fan, that they somehow own the creator? And I've actually seen, not exactly this scenario, but insane cases come up, not for big professional comic creators, but for small independent comic creators. Well, you'll have, like, for instance, like 2 really small independent comic creators, and they'll buy each other's book just so that they can say whatever they want with impunity because they're now a consumer in addition to being a creator. It's really silly because, everyone's a small fish, essentially. All right, so this is an example where a creator is blocking fans or any actual consumer advocates that want to address it. They're blocked. So what recourse do you have? You can make YouTube videos. You can do literally anything else other than, register your complaints with the guy that's saying it. So maybe you're familiar with SJW Spider-Man. He is a probably unstable person that just lives on the internet, and he's been griping about Richard Meyer for, I don't know, years. It's been well over a year since your boy Zach left Twitter, but SJW Spider-Man still constantly talks about him. Lately too, he's been pretty interested in talking about people like the quartering, but yeah, he'll still do lots of, here's one right here, Richard Meyer, and this is just constant. This is what he does all the time. Now, SJW Spider-Man is not a comic book pro, but guess what? He makes a lot of insane and wild accusations that you cannot dispute. Why? Because he has everyone blocked. Again, I can't see these people unless I use my alt account because I've been blocked. Now, I would really hope that if you backed someone's Kickstarter campaign and you never got anything back from them, and it's been years, like 5, 6, 7 years sometimes, and you've never got a book or anything, even so much as seeing, pictures, any artwork coming out of the campaign, you should be able to not just complain about it, you should be able to contact directly the person that is responsible for taking your money for promises, and you should be able to address it. I'll tell you, for Downcast, we've been in fulfillment. Most everything has arrived. I still see tracking numbers that are in process or shipping, and there have been a handful that have been damaged in the mail. And you know what's great is actual consumers can contact me very easily through Indiegogo or email or other places, and they can tell me that my book got damaged. Great, I can, do a little investigation and then go ahead and send them out a new copy so that they are happy. That's the way that things should be able to work. You have access to the person that you're paying money in order to get a comic. But what happens if you've been blocked or ignored by someone like Richard Pace, who has a Kickstarter that's been late for years? Well, you could take to YouTube, you could take to Twitter or wherever else you want to go and complain in public, because that's the only recourse you have left. All right, now here's where things get a little crazy. You notice a trend here. We always have somebody making wild accusations, or somebody saying something ridiculous, or somebody dumping on a consumer, and the consumer is blocked. They have no way to respond or weigh in on any of the debate. Now, I don't care if you're a creator or a consumer. If you're the person that is not open to having the exchange and the interaction and to getting down to the bottom of whatever, a real thing, then you are the problem. Now, this is an insane example. This is my friend Von Klaus. And there was this thing circulating for days and days and days that he was secretly some like furry author. I know this is crazy, but there was a book that literally resembled his book 1%. It wasn't even a comic book, and I'm not even joking. It was like some weird like furry Harlequin novel of some kind. But there was like a 1% resemblance, I would say, with just some minor details. And if you write books, that happens all the time. I mean, there's only so many ideas out there. It's not that ideas are stolen or anything like that. They're just overlap. That's just how things happen. That's reality. And so this was easily and verifiably proved false. But the shame here is that, Vaughn doesn't have the ability. There are people that are griping that have a gripe with him, but they don't actually want anything answered. They don't want anything addressed. It's said behind a block. Sound familiar? We've already gone through so many examples of creators and just, bald-faced liars that can literally say whatever they want, but they don't actually want an answer. And that's because social media really has become a place to air grievances, and it's where you go when you've got an axe to grind. So here's another example, and I don't know all the details of this, and I don't really want to get into the details, but I just want to cover the one point. So here's the headline here from The Beat. It says, Joshua Luna accuses brother and ex-business partner Jonathan Luna of theft, emotional, and physical abuse. Wow, those are big things. Emotional abuse, that's not illegal as far as I'm aware, but theft is, and so is abuse. So I'm gonna guess that I'm gonna go down here and it's gonna say that they went to the police, and police were called. Nope, didn't see anything to do with that. Let's get to the root of it. Here's the tweet from Joshua Luna. He says, thread, I thought about continuing to stay silent, but that doesn't help anyone but him. So I'll say it now. Jonathan Luna is a thief and an emotional and physical abuser, and has been for decades. And that's why he's not only my ex-business partner, but why I consider him an ex-brother too. Ouch, that is cold. Now, I'll say here, I don't know the Luna brothers. I don't know if Jonathan Luna is basically literally Hitler. I don't know what went on. But I will say The only reason you would take something like this to Twitter is to just try and, have a blowback, try and destroy somebody. There's other motivations to it besides having justice. And if internet mob justice is how you get things done, honestly, that's not really a world that I want to live in. The way that things should work is what I think most people in Comicsgate have been calling for a very long time. This is what I identified with. It is not about weaponizing patronage. Being a consumer means that you should have some basic rights. And those would be that you can have opinions on books. You can make your opinions be known. And yeah, you should be treated with respect as you do those things. It also means that if you get books damaged in the mail, you should be able to reach out and talk to the person that sold you the book and get the thing corrected. Consumers vote with their feet, they vote with their wallets. That's always been the case. That's how it works. And this is why consumers were so upset and offended about being blocked en masse, because you can't react. You can't reach out to those people that have screwed you through their crowdfunding campaigns that are 6 or 7 years late. The problem is, if you have a creator, a small independent creator that wants to make things right, or that wants to address insane rumors going on the internet, but it is the consumer advocates that are blocking, who are you really advocating for at that point? Appreciate you for listening to this video and making it this far. This was, it was a complex thing, and I had to take a few stabs at this to try and get it all out right correctly, so I felt good about it. Still not sure about it. Let me know in the comments below what you think, though. How do you sort this mess out? I'd kind of like to take things back to basics a little bit here. Feels like things have veered off a little bit as far as social media is concerned. So let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content. And last but not least, don't forget to sign up to the Downcast mailing list. The link is in the description below. Trust me, that's the best mailing list to be on. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.